In this set of examples, I am gonna combine 3 indicators because they all run concurrently instead of dividing them in by each of the topics. So be prepared for a long video. I'm gonna try and run through it as fast as I can without missing out anything, and also trying to make sure that I have the charts in the video, so in case you guys want to go back and probably look at other things for your own research. The 5-minute charts are not easy to research on because the data is not there, and you can go back on most chart services that far back anyway. So we are going to combine 3 things. The first one we're going to combine is the gap up indicator. The next one we're going to also be talking about in these chart examples is going to be the intraday timing. And then lastly, we're also going to be combining the 3-peat. So get strapped. Let's do this. Let's get that. All right. I'm going to have to adjust something here because this is slightly different how I'm recording this. Hope that works. Okay, so all these are 5-minute intraday charts, so let's get on with it. Now notice that and I have not prepared myself. I'm just gonna go on the fly. This is just on the fly. All right, we have on this chart, we move above 68 there. We touch 68, 68, 68 more than 3 times. Within 1, 2, 3, within 5 days, the stock jumps from the 30, I would say 37, 60, all the way to 41. So big move based on the 3-peat right there. So even that in itself looks good. Now what else can now also notice that the gap up indicator, the stock closes very strong here in the above 68 and gaps up at probably, like, I would say 50 cents or more, but that was not really, usually you get a bigger move than that on that gap up. Notice also on the 5-minute chart here, we have a move above 68 in the last half hour or so that had a small gap up that was not followed through. So this is a stock forming series of gap ups that did not materially follow through, but what the market was trying to tell us, market was predicting this move, and again you see it came on a gap up, but for some reason it was opposite to what we usually expect. But this gap up was predicted by the 3-peat on this day, and the fact that the prior day to this 3-peat area here, the stock had also closed above 68 on the 5-minute chart. Not the cleanest, but slightly consistent with what I'm talking about. Now let's move on to the next chart. Now this is again here we're gonna see we see the 3-peat, the RSI does move 3 times. 1 above 68, 68, 68 there, so that's 3, and then on the also another 68 move within the same day. Stock closes above 68 on that day, and the next day, sure enough, we get a gap up. Actually opens around the way it closed, but eventually we get a nice move that took the stock from 630 all the way to above 715, somewhere around there. That's a big move for a lower priced stock. Now, if I can, remember, I'm doing this on the fly, so I'm trying to see whether there's anything on the RSI that can, and then again also the intraday timing. You don't want to buy the stock during this high move here. You want to wait for it to come and break that trend, buy it here, which coincides with this move right there. So you want to buy the stock here, and then once you buy the stock, within minutes the stock starts moving higher. So this does help you avoid the upside down buying action when you buy a stock and it immediately drops in your face. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I knew there was gonna be some slight issues with this, so I might have to adjust this here. so we can get that in. Bear with me. Okay, again we see trying to figure out. Okay, we got 3-peat again on this one. Above 68 there, above 68 there, and then sure enough, the stock has a nice move, taking it from $7.15 all the way to $8 in a day and a half, right there, just based on the fact that you had a 3-peat, a nice move, another 3-peat here, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves above 68 in this session here, and once that was broken, the stock that had a nice move from $7 to around $8 in 2 sessions. I don't see anything else, but again, you can tell that if you use the tops lines for the RSI, even right there, you could have bought the stock here, which meant here a little drop here, but eventually was a good buy because the stock did move higher. So you also want to see whether you can time, and then again also another one is here. You can take those tops, that top there, and when once that is broken, that trend, you buy here, which was here around 675, and for a good gain in a couple of days. So let me move on from there. The next one is okay, again we got 3-peat. These 3-peats are so many. I didn't know there were so many. But again, we see the stock here closes above 68 on the daily, right there, above 68. And the next session, it actually trades higher from 250, and then we have above 68 there, it drops below 68, moves above 68 by the end of the day. So 3-peat, and what happens after that is the stock did eventually, this 3-peat and this gap up predicted this big gap in the stock that came after 2 days, taking the stock from 255, 260 all the way to under $3 right there. So a good mover. Now another one is again the stock, we see a gap up indicator on I can already see 2 sessions here. We closed above 68 on the out, and the next session we actually continued the rally, and then again we closed above 68, big move here above 68 in the last half hour, and then we had this big gap up in the stock, good gain. So just by knowing that every time you have a strong close above 68 in the last half hour, you can hold on instead of selling, and in this case it got a good gain with a good gap up, and you can sell it at that point. Okay, bear with me. Again, we see a strong close above 68 right here on this day, and the stock continued the rally the next day. So good gain. You want to hold on to stocks like that. Now, instead of timing this stock and buying it when it's oversold, what the timing does tell you to do is wait for it to break the trend. And you see those top lines right there? You draw a line, another top right there, and buy it here. And if you bought it there, you bought it somewhere around here, which coincides with the price change right there. And that was a good move because, again, the stock closed above 68 even on that day, and you had a continuation of a rally. So you are not losing money just using those simple indicators. So it's really, in a way, it does show how useful it is. Now let's take a look at another example. Lots of examples. That's what you like, right? You better. All right, now watch. Now you don't want to buy this. You don't want to buy this stock when it gaps up here. You want to wait intraday, and what you do again is wait for it to break out of the RSI tops line, or what I call a swedge breakout there, or you want to buy it above, buy it somewhere here, which is here. For a good move in a very short time, But remember, this is a short-term move. You don't want to hold on longer than you need to, because this is just for. And then again, you also see, if you draw a tops line right there, you enter the stock here. Here you get this move here, nice move. So that is part of the intraday timing that I'm talking about, and I'll only talk about that on. Now, I also on this one here, you see the stock did close above 68, but it's important for me to know that sometimes it doesn't work. Because yes, you didn't lose money at the open. The stock did open around where it closed, but eventually there was no gap up. So sometimes, you might expect a gap up, but it didn't happen in this case. So what you do is you get out, and that's just part of trading. Sometimes things don't work out as you would think they would on average. I think now this is the one that from a prior chart. Again, you see a strong close above 68, and then again the stock continues a rally, moving from around 45 to above to as high as 49.90. Good move. Next up, what is on this chart? Trying to find out on the fly. Do it, baby. Yeah. So here, above 68 there, drops below 68, moves up, touches it again, 68. So you got a three-peat. Expect a move in 10 days, and yet we started moving from $2 to as high as 360, actually 398, just by using the three-peat on a 5-minute chart. I don't see anything else. Intraday timing, instead of buying the stock when it's oversold, wait for it to move above RSI tops line. You might buy it around here for a good gain. Again, don't buy it when it's oversold. Wait for it to move above the tops line if you can. You buy it somewhere here, which is here, for a good move. The stock did close above 68 here at the very end of the trading session, and we got a gap up the next day. Perfect. Now on this one, what's going on? Okay, I see a three-peat above 68, above 68, above 68. So we expect a move within 10 days, and yes, in the following day we got a move took us from around 1240, actually 1210, 1215, all the way to $13 for short-term move. Remember, this is short-term basis only. We had a strong close here above 68 that didn't materialize in a gap up. Eventually we got a strong move in the open 2 sessions later, but we had a chance to get out. Even though it was a steep drop, the stock did open around where it had closed. So if it doesn't give you a gap up, or it doesn't move, if it moves lower, just sell it. Just how it goes. What's next? Baidu, baby. All right, now Baidu. This is September 2005, when Baidu was trading under $100. See, on this day here, I had a strong close way above 68, and he had a three-peat. I hope you can see it. Above 68 here, again drops a little bit below that, touches it again, and then closes again. So 4 times in that day it had moved below and back above 68. Closed very strong above 68, which suggested a gap up, and sure enough, we had the next day the stock was up $15 for I would say probably like a 20% move that day, just based on that very strong close. All right, what's next up? All right, here's another one. Stock closes very strong in the last half hour, was trading above 68, and sure enough, even after this big point day move on that day, the next day it gapped up, had a nice day, just based on the fact that it closed above 68 on that day. And also, one thing I might quickly just comment on is, you see a three-peat. 68 moves below it, 68 moves, stays above 68, drops below it, and moves close to 68 again. So you had a three-peat there, strong move, and we got it the next day. So now one thing also we can also watch is what's the next one? Give me a second there. Let me take a small break and come back. I might have pressed the wrong button there for a moment, and I don't want to be recording myself and nothing is being recorded, so I'll be back in a second. Hold up.